The reading I chose to reflect on is White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack by Peggy McIntosh. In the beginning, we see her quote, "I was taught to see racism only in individual acts of meanness, not in invisible systems conferring dominance on my group." When even looking at that particular quote, I equated this project to be very similar to one I discussed in last week's wiki assignment when talking about how digital media is being used more and more to express the art of spoken word and introducing civic projects that are important to our society and communities. Like McIntosh's White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, St. Louis Public Radio started a podcast series called We Live Here, following the protests of the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri by a white police officer. This project came about by journalists and reporters on arts and cultural within the community trying to come up with a project that would offer insight into what their citizens were going through and how this shooting of Michael Brown affected them internally. And We Live Here has been downloaded more than 600,000 times. In 2017, it formed a partnership with PRX, which began co-producing the show as part of a groundbreaking acceleration program for public radio-based podcasts called Project Catapult. The podcast has racked up numerous local and national awards, including the 2017 Kaleidoscope Award from the Radio Television Digital News Association for outstanding coverage of diverse communities and issues. One of the most powerful things about this project, and I think sort of when looking at McIntosh, she talks about sort of taking on the role of that first person perspective. And I mean, what better way to do that than to get those personal stories from the individuals that are being impacted? And when recording these interviews, you can hear the individuals' emotions, and it's a wide array of emotions, from sadness to happiness to surprise to anger. And I think that it makes a much more powerful impact on the listener and the audience members. So, in April of 2018, We Live Here kicked off its fourth season with an ambitious plan focusing on an entire season on one single topic to explore the intersections of race, class, and housing in one of the nation's most segregated regions, St. Louis. And I think through this type of project, especially podcasting, as I mentioned, it had been downloaded by 600,000 times. And look at the audience reach that this type of project has spanned, as well as all walks of life that have been able to participate in this particular project. So I do think that projects like this are extremely important in terms of race and equity within a community, class bases, and I would love to see more opportunities for different sects to get involved in this type of project. Thank you.